Now, who Patrick is the possibility of is peace, love, and joy. And the question is, okay, your heart is a problem. You have diabetes now, and you have a brain tumor, and your wife left you. Now what?
This all seems very theoretical. Like, if I just follow this path, my life will be great.
Yeah, well, I'm actually kind of sorry that it comes across that way.
Yeah.
So this course was not created in any way that it makes your life great. It does give you possibility. So if who I say I am is love or inspiration or excellence, it opens me up to a possibility that I keep in the front of my mind. But there's no guarantee that your life is going to be great. And it goes a little bit back to the self-help concepts. There's nothing that says that tomorrow is going to be better today. In some cases, it's random. I have a friend, Patrick, that I talk about in the book, and I actually have a rule called Patrick's Rule. And my friend Patrick, he had a heart attack one time. It was about 12 years ago. He had a heart attack. They had to do quintuple bypass surgery on him. After the surgery, he found out he had a brain cancer, a brain tumor behind his nose, and he got diabetes, and his wife left him. Now, who Patrick is the possibility of is peace, love, and joy. And the question is, okay, your heart is a problem. You have diabetes now, and you have a brain tumor, and your wife left you. Now what? Who I declare myself to is peace, love, and joy. And you're talking a man, and he is. Patrick really embodies peace, love, and joy. And I talk to Patrick often because he's really an inspiration to me in many ways, because his situation is so dramatic. Today, Patrick didn't get better. Since that happened, he did not get better. His health is worse. There's days he can't get out of bed. There's days he can't open his eyes because it hurts. Thankfully, his tumor's benign. His diabetes is bad. His heart condition has made him terribly weak. Some days he can't take out the garbage because he can't walk that far. And Patrick's not that old. He's just, his health is horrible. Now, 12 years later, he did get remarried. I mean, you think about a guy in that condition got married, and she's a wonderful woman. And in the book, I talk a little bit about the story they had on their 10-year anniversary. He's lucky to have made it to their 10-year anniversary together. And alignment has nothing to do with making him have a life like you and I would say is wonderful. But when you talk to Patrick, what he says is, I'm aligned with who I am. And for him, his life is wonderful. And we talk often, and because he really is a great friend, and he's helped me a lot with some of the concepts in the book, just because he knows the concepts very well, and he's the life that he's living. And he says, you'd say that my life is horrible. He goes, some days I wake up and my life is just terrible, but it's actually pretty great. And he says, I would have never told you that before, because look, I can't do anything. I'm fully dependent on other people. I'm constantly going to the hospital, wondering if I'm going to make it to the hospital for them to take care of me. I mean, he's driven himself to the hospital while having a heart attack. I mean, it's like, and he's like, and his worries are just different than ours. His life is different than ours. And he still feels his life is great, but he's still always stayed committed to peace, love, and joy. And if you look at a person in that condition, able to get married and be what he considers happily married, he says he's joyously married. Come on, that's amazing. But by no stretch of the imagination would you say that you'd want to switch places with his life. Nobody would want to be in that situation, but he is. And he's there dealing with it with who he is, staying aligned. And for him, it's making all the difference in the world. And that's what matters. So it's not theoretical in this sense. It's very practical in the sense that staying committed despite your situation is really about being your declaration despite your situation, no matter how bad the situation is. And that's why I use the example of Frankl from the concentration camps. And that's why I talk about Patrick. And if it's working in those extreme situations, then it's easy to work in the situations for most of us and the things that most of us face. And so it's meant to be very practical and very pragmatic. And that's why I also go through the neuroscience and In the course, I have worksheets to walk you through the process and get you thinking and testing things out, and why we go through the ways that your brain and your body can get in your way. So you can spot them yourselves, and you can then make a decision about what to do with them, knowing what they really are, which is not you, just your brain, it's just your body.